Hi friends, welcome to my channel, The Art of Design. Today I will be painting this metal table lamp. This is a table lamp that we've had in our household for many years. But I'm tired of looking at it. It's an ordinary table lamp. It's in really good condition, so I don't want to get rid of it. I thought I could upcycle it and use it as a grow light for my plant. So let's move on to the materials that I'll be using today. I have 120 sandpaper, this can of leftover paint, an old paintbrush, goggles, and N95 mask for safety, mixing cup and a stirring stick, white vinegar, metal primer, painter's tape, and gloves. I just did my nails, so I need to protect my nails this weekend. I'll be using a paint sprayer for the first time in my life, and this is going to be a good practice for me. I'll learn from my mistakes. Maybe you'll learn from my mistakes too. I begin by giving the lamp a thorough cleaning. Cleaning is a crucial step when painting metal because any grease or dirt left on the surface can prevent the paint from adhering properly. Using a mixture of water and distilled white vinegar, I carefully wiped it down with a cleaning cloth. You can also use TSV, but if it's not available, distilled white vinegar works just as well. Next step is sanding. I used 120 grit sandpaper to create tiny etchings on the surface, which are essential for painting the metal as they help the primer and paint hold in place. After sanding, I wipe down the metal with a damp cloth to remove any lingering metal particles. Once the surface was clean and ready, I carefully covered areas like the switch, the cord, and the inside of the lampshade, any spots I didn't want to be painted, using painter's tape for precise protection. Okay, our lamp is ready to be painted. Now I'm going to move on to thinning our paint and figuring out how to work with our paint sprayer. Before using an HVLP paint sprayer, it's essential to thin the paint. While it's always best to follow the manufacturer's recommendations, adding 20 to 30% water usually works well for proper thinning. I began with a test batch, mixing the paint and water in a 10:1 ratio by volume. After a round of stirring, I measured the viscosity. For HVLP equipment, the ideal viscosity falls between 35 and 40 seconds when measured with a viscosity cup, meaning the paint should flow through the cup in approximately 35 to 40 seconds once properly thinned. This inexpensive HVLP paint sprayer from Amazon is perfect for small projects and highly rated by users. I'll share the link in the description below. It's simple to set up and features a detachable power unit similar to pricier models, making it incredibly easy to clean. The sprayer includes 4 nozzles and 3 spray patterns, allowing you to work with a variety of materials. After straining the thinned paint through a paint strainer to make sure it is free of clumps, I poured it into the container and proceeded to assemble the paint gun. One thing you need to make sure is wearing a mask and goggles to protect yourself from fumes and splatters while spraying. I started by practicing on a piece of cardboard to get a feel for the spray gun. You can adjust the trigger knob to control the amount of paint being sprayed. Next, I sprayed the lamp with a metal primer. This step should not be skipped as primer provides adhesion and durability to the paint. Using a sweeping motion, I slightly overlapped each stroke while moving consistently across the surface. Unfortunately, one area ended up with heavier buildup, causing the paint to run. Oh well, lesson learned. Once the primer coat dried, I moved on to the paint. Holding the sprayer about 10 to 12 inches from the lamp, I used smooth, overlapping back and forth motions for even coverage. The key is to keep the sprayer perpendicular to the surface. I applied several thin coats, allowing each coat to dry completely before adding the next. I carefully inspected the lamp between sprays to ensure every spot was evenly coated and nothing was missed. That's when I realized I had forgotten to wear gloves and ended up with paint all over my freshly done nails. Second lesson learned. Alright, I'm gonna leave it overnight for it to dry. I'm actually very happy with the results. The paint sprayer was relatively easy to use, but it takes time to get a hang of it. And I think I did a pretty good job. It took me a few coats to cover it all. I had to go over some areas more than once, but overall I think it's gonna look great. You can pour any unused paint back into its original container to save for future projects. Proper maintenance of your paint sprayer is essential to keep it performing well and to extend its lifespan. Cleaning the sprayer after each use prevents clogs and removes dried paint residue that could cause inconsistent spray patterns. I disassembled the sprayer and washed each part thoroughly. After pouring out the leftover paint and washing the container, I filled it with water and sprayed it through the sprayer. This step helps flush out any remaining paint inside the system, ensuring it's completely clean. Alright, it's been 24 hours and our lamp is ready. I'm gonna remove the tape and see how it looks. While removing the tape, some paint came off in areas like the rim of the lampshade and the on and off switch. And thankfully it was minor, so I touched up those spots with a small paintbrush. I used a piece of steel wool to clean up the inside of the shade where paint had spilled, leaving it neat and polished. Okay, the lamp is ready. I removed the tape, did all the touch-ups, and put it together. And I think it looks much better than I thought it would. I'm going to keep the lamp in this area. This area is a place where we use as hobby area. We eat breakfast sometimes. And I have some plants where it doesn't really get a lot of light. This refrigerator blocks the light, so these little plants don't get much light. So it's going to be a great multitask for this task lamp. It's going to be a grow light and a task light at the same time. I'm a big fan of SANSI grow lights, and I have several around my apartment. They've been a game changer for my plants, helping them thrive even in low light corners. I'll include a discount code and a link in the description if you would like to give them a try. Just like that, I gave new life to an old item, saving it from the landfill. If you enjoyed the video, like and share with friends who love upcycling. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring DIY projects to help create your cozy, personalized home.